This conference will now be recorded.
Now, in the last class, we have started seeing of with your CDS views, and we have seen the shortcut commands which you can use in your CDS view. Let me go ahead and create one of your CDS view, how to create the CDS view. So let me log on to HANA Studio. So you know how to add the system over here. So let me log on here, and I'll be providing my password. So now let's go ahead and create one more CDS view. So Control N, and I'll go ahead with CDS, and I'll take the data definition. I'll just say click on next. I'll just go here and say my $TMP, the $TMP, and the name I'm going to give GB CDS on single table. Single table. So I'll just say this as CDS view on single table. So I'll just say click on next, and then click on finish. Now you got your details. You got your details. I'll just go ahead and provide this GB CDS sync table. So I'm just going to give this as SQL name. As I told you, you do have two types of view. One is CDS entity view as well as CDS SQL data, CDS view as well as CDS entity view. A CDS entity view is a view which will be created on your SE11, and then this is the one which will be created in your HANA database. HANA database. Now here, this data source is nothing but your the table name, which table, from which table you want to get. So I'll be saying, let's say VBAK, from VBAK I want to get my data. So now what are the fields I needed? What are the fields I needed? So let's take, I need VBLN. So then you need to keep it as a comma, and then ERNAM, ERDAT, VKORG, VTWEG, SPART. Let's suppose these are the fields. Now see here, it will tell you the key field is missing. The missing of key field as key definitions. So you have provided the preserve key. You need to provide your key field for sure. So if I say this as key field, and now see the errors are removed. The errors are removed. If I say Shift F1 for doing of your pretty printer. So Shift F1, Shift plus F1 for doing the pretty printer. The pretty printer. So that's it. Now, once you have done this one, and now I'll just go ahead and activate the data. I'll just go ahead and activate. And now you can see here it is trying to activate. Now it's got activated. Now, if I say F8, it will just show you the data. See, it has shown you only the 100 records. And how many milliseconds? 18 milliseconds. Now you can able to increase the rows here to, let's say, 1000. So now you will get, so only 317 records are there. All those 317 records has been shown over here. So this is how. Now, as I told you, this is the one which will be created in your SE11. Let me go ahead and find out whether it has been created or not. Let me copy this and I will say Control+6. Control+6, it will open your GUI launcher. It will open your GUI launcher. So now I'm going to S11. I'll just provide in the view, I'll just provide the view name and I'll just say click on display. You can see here, this is a CDS database view. Sometimes you can see it as DDL SQL view also. So this name you can able to see either it as a CDS database view or you can see this as a SQL view. SQL view. So either you can see this as the CDS database view or you can see this as your SQL view. So don't get confused, both are the same. Now, in which table I can find the dependence? I can find the CDS view and SQL view name. In which table I can able to find the relationship between find the relation between the CDS view and the SQL view, or I can say this as CDS database view. So you will be having a table called as DDL dependency. DDL dependency. Now, if I go to the table, let me go here. So I'll say /OSE16N. See, it has opened your SE16N. If I provide my DDL dependency, and now I'm going to provide my DDL source name. So here I'll just provide my DDL source name, copy this, and let me go here and let me paste it up. Sorry, let me go here and let me paste it over here. And if I say click on execute, now you can see here a view will be created. A view will be gets created. This is the one which you have created your view. So if I just say STOB, it's nothing but your structured object. If I say it as a view, which is nothing but your view. So this is the one. So this is the relationship between your CDS view as well as your SQL view name. This is the table, most important table, and this is also one of your interview question. This is also one of your interview question. DDL dependency. Dependency. Okay, so remember this. Now over here in CDS view, we do have so many other options, like you can concatenate your data, you can write your conditional operators, you can concatenate your data, you can do the trimming. I would say in CDS view, as I already told you, we can slice the data. So that means you can do your concat, you can do your trimming operations, you can add anything, or you can put your conditional operator. You can do a casting operator. You can also provide the currency conversion operator, the date conversion operator, you can do it. And like this, you do have different options. If I go to my running notes which I have provided you, so here you can see what are the different types of things. So you can do what are the built-in functions. casting functions, numeric function, the string functions, the conversion functions. So flip to decimal, floating point to decimal. So unit conversion. So I want to convert from units, one unit to another unit. The currency conversion, one currency to another currency. Date and time functions. I want to convert the date function. I want to convert the time function. So like this, you do have different options that have been built on your CDS views. Now, if I go here, now, what are the session variables I can able to use? The session variables in the CDS view. The session variables in your CDS view. So let me go ahead and see. So in SAP ABAP, you will be writing it as SciUname or SciDatum, like that you will be writing. But here, this SciUname and SciDatum will not work. It will not work. It will not work. It will never work. So you have to use something called as, whenever you want to create any, whenever you want to use any variable, whenever we want to use any session variable, you need to provide it as $session dot. So let me go to my CDS view and then I'll just show you that. So if I go to my CDS view, I want to get a new field. So my requirement over here is, I want to get a new field. I want to get a new field. I want to get a new field, new fields with execution date and execution user. So who is going to execute it? Execution user, who is going to execute it. So in that cases, I need to use the $session dot and give control space bar. You will be getting to know what are the system variables. If I say client, it will just show you your client name, the system date, the system language. So the Sci language is nothing but your system language, the Sci username, the user date format, and the user time zone format. Now I want my system user, as you need to provide your username. How you want to show you that? As the execution user, as a execution user. See this field is available in CDS, this field is available in VBAK. No, we can derive the fields also. We can derive the fields, the slicing of data we are starting up. So in that we are adding up our new fields in your CDS view. So which is not possible in case of your SE11. So when you are creating any views in SE11, whatever the fields that are available in that table, you can able to use those. You can't able to concatenate, or you can't able to trim, or you can't able to slice the fields or slice the data. But here in CDS view, that is going to be possible. Even if you don't have the field, you can create your own fields. Like, so when you are saying this as execution user, so where I want to store that value, this is the value, this is the value, right? Where I want to store that value, I want to store that value into this field. So this field will contains this username. This field will contains this username. In the same way, I'll just say $session dot, I'll say this as system date, as execution date, as execution date. Now if I say shift F1, so see here it has been done. Now if I'll go ahead and activate this one, I'll go ahead and activate this one, and if I say F8, I didn't activate this, it's trying to active. So it's trying to active. So it's fine to activation. You can see the activation status over here. But usually it won't take this much of a time. It has to be active within the fraction of seconds, like how your real-time systems will be activating. Here also it has to be activated in the same way. Now see here, what is the username? The best. When it has been executed on today's date. When it has been executed on today's date. So this is how you can provide your field names. Now, these field names, if I want to expose that into a Fiori app, if I want to expose this CDS view to a Fiori app, then for these fields, for these fields, because these fields, see, whatever the fields which we are getting from the table will have their own names, but the derived fields we need to provide your names. So for these derived fields, we need to provide the name. So to do this one, we need to use an annotation called end user text dot. So this annotation is for CDS name, the CDS description. For your derived fields also, you need to provide your annotation. So now I have to provide over here. Above your fields, you have to provide your annotation. So I will be saying end user dot text. What is your text? So I want to say this as end user dot text underscore label. What is my label? EXE executed user name. Next, so I want to show my quick info, like how if I place my cursor, see here at the bottom it is showing a info. What is the purpose of that? So that one also I need to provide. So I mean, that's all depends upon you whether you want to provide it or not. So now quick info, I'll just say this as executed user name. In the same way, if I want to do for your execution date again, I'll just copy these two labels. I'll just provide it over here. Executed user date and executed date, or else I'll just say this as executed date and your executed date. So can you able to see this while we clicking on F8? No, you can't able to see that when we clicking on your F8. So if I say activate, it will just go ahead and activate. See here, you can also see what are the fields you have chosen, and when you use a annotation, you can see here at the red symbol is coming up. But for all these fields, you can't able to see it. You can't able to see this. So this is what. Now I just say activated. Now when I say F8, you can't able to see those values. You can't, because here it will be show you in the form of your field names. Not your field description. It will always show you in the form of your field names. Now you can ask me, can I go ahead and check it in SE11? Let me go ahead and try that. So if I go back and if I copy this SQL view name, see here, you will be getting that as your blank spaces. See, generated column and the date column. As you have used, it has provided your date, and for your user it has generated. So you are trying to generate this column. Now if I click on execute also, you can see here this is a generated column and this is a date column. You can't able to see the info descriptions. where you can able to see that only in Fury, when I expose this to your Fury, then only you can able to see these two things. So these are your one of your annotations which is required, which is most important, like that I'll be covering few more annotations which we will be regularly using that in our real time. Okay, so now the next thing. So clear with this? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so now I want to concat the next thing. The next thing we are going to see the slicing of your data. I need to concat. My requirement is to concat the data. My requirement is to concatenate VKORG, VTWEG, and SPART. My requirement is I want to concatenate VKORG, VTWEG, and SPART. In CDS view, by default, we can able to concat only two fields at a time. We can able to concatenate only two fields at a time. So that means if I want to write three fields, you need to do concatenation two times. If I need to concat more than two fields, I need to concat more than one time. So now to concat in CDS view, we need to use a keyword called as concat. So now I'll just say concat. See here, so concat. So now this argument 1 and argument 2 are nothing but your fields. What are your fields? So my fields is usually we will be concatenating from right to left. So here we will be saying this as SPART, and then I will be saying this as your VTWEG. Now I have concatenated this one. Now this is one field. Now again I will go ahead and write concat, and I'll open a braces again, and here what I will do, I'll just provide my VKORG and then close one more bracket. As I'll be saying this as your sales area. So that's it. Now if I say shift F1, that's it. Now if you want, you can go ahead and write again your session variable or your end user text. So if I just say click on this one, I'll just go ahead and I'll say this as your sales area, and here also I can just say this as a sales area. So now the two times it will be just concatenating and it will be showing you that in your output. Now if I just say activate this one, it will just activate it. And now if I just say F8, F8, now see here, it has concatenated all these three things. Now if I want a space between that, so now you have to use a word called as concat sales area and then concat with space. concat with space. So how many spaces you want? This will be tell by how many spaces you want. Let's say now I want to say this as SPART and then VTWEG and let's say I want the space 1. I want the space 1. Now before this again I will say concat with concat with the space and this argument I'll just removing it. Now argument 1, what is my argument 1? VKO RG and then I'll just provide one more space. Now I'll be saying again this as your sales area with space. Sales area with space. Now I'll just go ahead and activate this one. So I will show you the output will be your same. Now if I say F8, you can see a space between that F8. Now see here, a space has been came up. A space has been came up. A space has been came up. Now my requirement is, I'm just showing you how you will be doing it in real time. My requirement is I want to concat. So here you can't able to provide you at the rates or hash or anything. At the rate or hash or anything you can't able to provide this. My requirement is I want to concat the sales area with a separator at the rate. With a separator at the rate. So now how you have to do this? Can someone can able to tell me how can you do this? How can you do this? Can someone can tell me how can you do this? Lakshmi or Ashwini? Okay, let's, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if concat with space means like concat with separator.
No, if I say concat, so let me provide you a space, comma here, and if I say what are the functions I have, concat and concat with space only. I don't have concat with a separator. SAP doesn't provide that. SAP doesn't provide that. Now in this case, I'll be saying concat. So I do have two fields. So what I will do, first thing at the rate, I will be writing. And then comma, I'll be saying SPART. Now again, I will be using the word concat, and again I will be saying at the rate, and then this is my, sorry, here I need to say what is my first field, SPART we have written, and then VT, sorry, what is the next field? Yeah, VTWEG. Now these two has been concatenated. Now I'm just closing this. Now again I will be saying concat, and I'll be just say at the rate, and then I'll be saying this as concat. Now I'm closing this one. Now again I'll be using the word concat, and I will be saying this one as your, what is the one, VKO RG. Now I'll just close one more time as sales area separator. So that's it. Now if I say F1, see how many things I'm doing it. So one concatenate, second concatenate. third concatenate and fourth concatenate. So you have to go ahead and do this like this. Now if I go ahead and say activate this one, now I'll just say F8. Now see here, it has done your concatenation with the help of your. So like this, how many concatenates you want, you can just go ahead and provide that one. You can just go ahead and provide in that same format. Clear with this? Clear with this? Any questions?
Yeah, but these many concats we need to write, Rakesh.
Yeah, yeah. With these many concats, you don't have any other option. You don't
Okay.
have any other option. Like in the new syntaxes, also, we are seeing the new syntaxes. So how we have written? So we have written VBELN, and then we have written at the rate, and then we have written the same thing VTWEG, and next one is again at the rate, and then we have seen your SPART, the same thing. Now if you see here, the first one is SPART is concatenating with this one. Now this one is acts like one string, and then we will be concatenating with VTWEG, and then we have added at the rate, and we have converted it to one string, and then we have added your VBELN. So that's the reason you have to always come from the right to left, the right to your left. So see, the same step we are doing it over here, but this we will be doing in your application layer, whereas this we will be doing in your database layer. This we will be doing it here database layer. Okay, so this database layer SAP has provided this command only. It has not provided at the rate. If it has provided at the rate, then we can go ahead and do like this. We can go ahead. So like this, how many concatenates I can write? N number of concatenates. N number of concatenates, you can go ahead and write that. No issues at all. No issues at all. Now if I go ahead and say activate again, so I'll just say activate this, control F3. I'm just going to do the activation and see the same thing. Now if I come here again and if I just say refresh, why it's not showing me up? It has to show me those two fields also. Let me close this and I'll just say control 6. It will open your GUI. Now I'll just go here to SE16N, and now here I'll just copy this CDS view. I'll just provide it over here. Now you can see here all these are character columns, generated columns. Now if I say just execute, see the same output you can able to see over here too. The same output you can able to see over here too. Now you can ask me a question, can I write these commands in SE38 select a query? Can I write these commands in SE38 select a query? As I told you, when we have to use your CDS, we have to use your CDS only in case if it is reusable. If it is reusable, if it is not going to reusable, whatever the commands which we are using in CDS view, we can able to use that in direct select query. So this is the HANA select query. So you can able to use in case of S4 HANA DB. In case of your S4 HANA DB, you can't able to use that in your regular ECC systems. Now, how to write that? So let me log on to your SAP system. So I'll be just saying this as my user ID and my password. So now I'll go to SA38. So now Z 8 a.m. the new select. So now I'll just say click on create. I'll be saying this as new select statements. So I'll just go ahead and say this as executable program and just click on save. I'll just save that in my local objects. Now I'll be saying this as no standard page heading. Now I'll just say this as start of selection. Now I want to concat. So the same query, select, the same way how you will be writing. So how you have written over here in your CDS view, select from table, select from. So now you have to use the same one. Select from. Previously, how you will be using, select the required fields and then you will be using your from. But from here onwards, you have to use select from. Select from. What is your table? VBAK. Now, instead of this flower brackets, we will be using a keyword called as your fields. Whatever the fields you want to get. Whatever the fields you want to get, and copy the same thing. You don't need to provide this key field and copy the same thing. Copy your same thing. And here for your username and time, you have to use side datum as see, I'm also getting the new field. Side datum as your user date and side uname as your username. See, whatever the fields, and then if I want to concat, I'll just use the same keyword. I'll just use my same keyword. So I'll just copy this one. I'll just provide it over here. But here you need to provide your spaces. That's it. And now the next one. If I want to do for one more time, concatenate with the space, the same keyword. Concatenate with the space is the same keyword. Now I'll just go ahead and I'll just provide it. So, but here you need to provide your spaces in between all these things. Now I'll just say the same thing. The same thing. But here, as I mentioned you need to provide your spaces. That's it. Now, at the last, we need to write into table at the rate data of GT underscore VBAK. That's it. Now, if I do my pretty printer, and now if I just check this, no issues. It has to show me 1 second. Okay. Okay, I'll come to this session variables. So now see here, if I just click on check, no issues at all. I'll just come to the session variables. Why it is showing it as error, I need to check that. Now if I go here and I'll say CL underscore demo underscore your output. And I'll be saying this as a display method. And now here I'll just provide my table name. What is my table? My table is GT underscore PBAK. Now if I just say pretty printer again, I'll just activate my code. And now if I click on execute, see, it will just do the concatenation over here too. So that's why I told you whatever the details you can do it in your CDS view, the same thing you can able to do it over here. The same thing you can able to do it over here. Now I have my CDS view. I'll be telling you in detail about that, but let me show you. I have my CDS view. I have the CDS view. I want to display the data. I want to display the data. How can you do that? So my CDS view is this one. What is the CDS view you have created? This is your CDS view. I want to display this CDS view. So with one single line, I can able to show, I can able to create a report in S4. So now CL underscore SALV underscore GUI underscore IDA. One second, I forgot the class name. SE24 CL underscore CL star SLV star IDA. CL underscore, sorry, this is the one. So this is the class which you have to use this. I'll just copy this class. I'll just copy this class and now I'll go here. I'll just provide this and I'll be saying create from CDS view, create from CDS view. What is your CDS view? My CDS view is this one. My CDS view is this one. Now I need to provide this in your caps, Control K, and I'll be just providing it my this one. Now whatever the receiving, I need to go ahead and do it your receiving. So for that, what I will do, I just say data of GO underscore ALV. GO underscore ALV is equal to why it's not coming up. One second, it has to come. 1 second. Data of GO underscore ALV is equal to CL underscore GUI underscore, sorry, what is the class? CL underscore SALV underscore GUI underscore, I'll say table IDA, and I'll be using the method create from your CDS view. Now, what is the view name? My view name is this one. Control K. That's it. And now I'll be saying GO underscore ALV. This is full stop. I forgot to put the full stop. GO underscore ALV hyphen. We will be having a method called as your display options. Display options. Hey, I forgot about this. 1 second, please. With one single line only you can write. 1 second. IDX. So this I'm going to give you anyways. Create from your CDS view. Then GO underscore ALV. This is for your select options. This is for your persistence. So how to do this? This is the one. This is the one I need to use this. So Geo underscore ALV, and I need to use my full screen. Data of Geo underscore F screen is equal to, and I'll be saying this as the full screen. Full screen, and then Geo underscore, sorry, I need to put my full stop, and then Geo underscore F screen, and I'll be taking this as your display. That's it. Now if I do my pretty printer, and I'll just say activate my code, and now when I click on execute, in table return. 1 second, let's change. Sorry, I have created with the CDS view. I need to do it, but I have put it on my table name. So let me go ahead and remove that one and create from a CDS view. So now I need to provide my CDS view. What is my CDS view? This is my CDS view. And I'll just say pretty printer, and I'll activate my code. I need to put my full stop. Now activate your code. So now if I say click on execute, see here, you got your data. You got your data without writing of your select a query. Also, you can able to get your data. Now, as I have written this in how many lines? So almost like 10 to 15 lines, right? So now I'll show you that in one single line. CL underscore SALB underscore GUI underscore table underscore IDA, and then I will be saying create from CDS view. Create from CDS view. I'll just provide my CDS view, and then I'll be saying this as my full screen, and then I'll just say what is my next one I'm going to call. I'm going to call this as my display. That's it, you're done. You don't need to write this much of a code too. Now if I do my pretty printer, and if I say activate this one, so it's activated. If I click on execute, the output is the same. The output is the same. See how many lines we have been reduced. With one single line, you have completed your entire coding. You have completed your entire coding with one single line. So this is the advantage of your CDS views. So now if I want to use the CDS view in OData service, I want to use that in your reporting, then you can directly use like this. Then you can directly use like this. Okay. So this is how you have to use your concatenate operator as well as your system session variables in your CDS view, and how can you use your concatenate operator in your new select statements. So that's all for today, and I have already told you tomorrow also you're having your class. So before I signing off for today, any other questions, Ashni and Lakshmi?
Yeah, Rakesh, like tomorrow at what time class? Same time or hello?
Yeah, same time.
Same time, okay. Is it possible to have like 9 to 10 or else like
And then I do have another slot,
okay, okay.
so that's the reason.
Okay, no problem.
If you have any urgent works, do let me know. I can able to cancel the class. No issues on that too.
No, that's fine. No problem.
Okay, so we'll meet you tomorrow, and we'll continue with the next numeric strings and all these things in your tomorrow's sessions. So that's it. We'll meet you tomorrow again, and we'll continue our session. Thank you all.